Welcome to Pull the Pin Already War Room Edition. I'm your host, Jim. Back with me, as usual, is
Your co-host Nate.
I guess I was supposed to do that. Maybe I did it last time. I don't know. I don't think we're ever going to get these right.
No, never. I don't think so.
But what's going on, Nate? How are you doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. How you been?
Yeah, doing all right. Doing all right. So again, we missed some holidays or something in there. I don't know why we keep forgetting what day it is, but who knows? Um, I guess we had a long weekend, right? Martin Luther King Day or something.
Yeah, I didn't realize today was a recording day. I'm a whole day behind, I think. So, thanks to the holiday, I forgot today was our day to go live.
Right. Yeah, live as it is. Either way, what we're going to do is the same thing we've always done is we are going to talk about headlines that we find in the mainstream media, which you all know that we probably haven't read because just like you probably haven't read them. But we talk to them as veterans because we have all the experience in the world. And why else, Nate?
Because we've been around the world, we know everything, and we've never been fact checked.
I swear we're going to lose that. We're going to lose that talking point at some point.
You'll see.
All right. So we ready to get started?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's go into the first one. Boom. House GOB. Oh my goodness. SOB. House SOB. GOB. House GOP predicts knife fight on raising debt ceiling.
You know what's going to happen?
What's that?
They're going to raise the debt ceiling.
Right.
So, eventually, it's going to go up anyway. So you guys can bicker and argue all you want until it gets done. But
Maybe they should say a knife display, right? So they're all going to bring out their knives, like, "Hey, look at this! I got this one. Hey, I got this from Ukraine. Hey, look at this one."
from
Right?
Ukraine.
Because I mean, when was the last time they didn't raise the debt ceiling?
Never ever.
Wow! Holy cow! We have a streak going here, don't we? So I don't even know if that's true, but I'm going to trust you because I'm not fact checking you.
You don't have to.
I know.
I didn't read this time, but I did see a headline today. I actually saw an article today. I did read a part of an article today, not the whole thing. 'Cause that's way I'm not gonna read the whole thing and get all the information.
Well, depending where it came from, you might have to read to the end just to find out what the article's really about.
Oh, I don't even know where I saw it at, but
Yeah.
it happens all the time. They fight
Well, I
about
mean,
it and then they raise it.
and I think I saw something about cameras in there. They're talking about having cameras in and, to watch these fights. And then they were saying, we don't want the theater, we don't want this and that. Because, yeah, granted, we all know this is a pretend fight anyway. But in the end of the day, I mean, I think what misses a lot of people is what this really means. Like, I don't even really know what raising the debt ceiling really means. I mean, just other than obvious, it means we can spend more money that we don't have.
Basically, yeah.
But what are the ramifications if we don't raise the debt ceiling? Some things will go unfunded.
Some things will go unfunded, some things will go unpaid. Supposedly the stock market will crash, interest rates will rise, blah blah blah. Recession will happen.
So isn't that already happening?
and we still have a debt ceiling. So what's the difference?
I just don't understand it. Like, I think, the complexities of this may elude me, but the simplicity of spending more than you have is kind of a concept that I think even my young children would know.
I know.
You
Can
know?
I don't have the option of raising my debt ceiling
Right.
every 4 years, 2 years, however often they raise debt ceilings. But
Could you imagine that? Could you imagine if we had the same privilege as the government does with our money?
shit, I can't pay this year. I'll just raise my debt ceiling.
Right. Hey, you owe $3,000 in taxes. Well, I'll just add it to my tab.
Yeah, I'll raise
I'll
my
pay
debt
it one
ceiling.
day. One day when I'm dead, I'll pay it. You know what I
I'll,
mean? Like,
I'll get to it.
yeah, it's just crazy, man. It's just irresponsible. It's just nonsense. I wish we understood more about it, but um, no, we just got to stop spending money. So whatever you raise the ceiling to or lower it to, it's a ceiling. Like, what is that? Raise the roof? Like, raise the ceiling? I don't know.
I don't think they can ever. I don't think it could ever be lowered. It's only gonna go up and up and up and up and up.
Right. Well, in essence, the ceiling is always up, right? So it doesn't only make sense, right? That would be their logical argument.
Yeah, but mine doesn't raise all the time. Mine usually stays put where it's at.
Well, you don't know that, right? Because I mean, technically, it could be raising like a very small bit, and you just don't notice it.
Probably it's lowering with the settling the foundation, but
Or it's expanding with the heat and then contrasting with the cold, like the
like,
cyclone.
like this next headline's gonna do.
Exactly. DOJ considered letting the FBI monitor search for classified documents in Biden's home. Report.
So they considered it, but they didn't do it. That's the way I look at it. They considered it, but nah, we don't want them raiding Biden's home. You can't raid a president's home, only ex-presidents.
Well, you said the magic word. You said raid. It's not a raid.
Yeah,
This just says search.
and really, I mean, Trump was hiding the documents. That's why they had to raid his place, and Biden's giving them up willfully, so they don't have to raid his place to see if he needs more.
Right. Even though they said there is no more. Oh, today there's more. Oh, there's no more after this. Oh, what do you mean? There's no more. Oh, there's no more after this. Yeah.
And how often do you have lawyers clean out your rooms and offices?
Look, man, let's be real about this. We could talk about this and make up funny stories, right? But we all know something's going on. Like, because the UPenn one, I think those documents were found 6 years ago or something. I think these recent ones, I'm
Look,
getting all confused with
they
it.
were from 6 years ago, at least 6
Right.
years ago,
Yeah, I'm getting
supposedly.
confused with this. And I think what they were saying is that they've been there for 6 years and they're
Yes.
just bringing them out now because either somebody told or there's going to be an investigation and they're trying to get ahead of it. Like there's so many stories.
And
All conspiracy theories, right?
supposedly they knew about it before the elections too, but didn't mention anything about it.
Right, of course. Why would they? Because that only hurt Biden. I mean, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, dude, headline after headline. We do this show like every 2 days or so, whatever. It just gets so tiring. How many of these things are evidently clear, the corruption, and we just keep reporting them. Hey.
And that's why I don't have a Corvette in my garage because I can't hide secret documents next to it. So
Right, exactly.
or
But the garage was
classified or
locked. The garage was locked. All right. So it was
prop.
locked unless it was open. When it
You
was
know,
open, it was locked.
I have to do training every year. I'm properly securing documents.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure. Yeah, maybe he don't have to do training like I do, but he should obviously do the training like I do because the garage is not an option on the test.
Well, you know what? You know what's funny too? He said it was locked in his garage, right? So this is what's funny. I remember being stationed in Hawaii on patrol, right? And I remember we found this little glitch thing. It was by mistake, but once we found it, it was hilarious. We drive past certain houses and we click the radio mic, and the garage would go up. And we're like, "What the heck was that?" Well, first we thought it was coincidence, but then we do it again, the garage would go up. So the frequency obviously interfered with the garage. So
Oh
how
yeah.
secure is that? You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
and if your neighborhood's big enough and you drive around with your remote to your garage, it's gonna open
mhm.
somebody else's in your neighborhood eventually.
Right, because somebody doesn't change the passwords or the
Yeah,
frequency.
frequency the
Right,
same, or you guys somehow pick the same frequency and
right. Well, I mean, if Biden's property wasn't so big, I would even say somebody could sit next to you in the car or out in the car and grab your frequency because they got devices now. So I don't know how this guy says it's secured or it's locked, but we know it's a joke anyway, right?
yeah.
So either way, we're just gonna laugh at that, but it's
Well, at
just
least
so sad.
but at least they considered it. That was nice of them.
Yeah, right. Considered it. Right. You go, DOJ. Pick which side you want to win and just make it obvious. Make it obvious. That's all. All right. Well, another damning. Well, I guess let me segue this. Since the DOJ isn't going to do their job, why don't we see if Twitter can do the job for them? So Elon Musk has more Twitter files revealed. Let me read the damn headline, right? Because I'll make it a whole lot easier than me trying to explain a headline. Latest Twitter files reveals drug makers pushed for censorship on generic vax advocacy.
Now go ahead and explain it to me.
So basically, the big companies pushed the social media sites and whatnot, the tech people to censor the vax and promote its advocacy. So
But
basically, they're trying to suppress any dissension and promote it.
well, I think they said the censorship of a generic vaccine. They want you to use the expensive one, not the generic one.
Right. So obviously, well, that's a scandal in a scandal, right? So not only are they telling you it's good for you, they're telling you don't use the cheap one. Give us the profits from the good one. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Yes.
But again, Nate, let me see if I can put your surprise face on. Really? Like this company that makes billions off of us with our money to create something and then turns around and sells it for a profit and doesn't have to suffer any consequences if they screw it up. Wow. What a coincidence, right?
Yeah,
Our tax dollars go for research and funding so that this company can make billions of dollars selling it back to us. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. And then if they do something wrong, we can't even sue them and get our money back.
you,
Wow,
you,
that's crazy.
you got called conspiracy theorist on this.
Yeah, right. That is definitely conspiracy theory. That's not exactly how it works, is it?
Here comes the truth again
Right. And on
and
the other
again
note,
and again. What's going to happen?
no, well, see, that's what I was just saying recently, just this last headline. It's so sad that what are we on? It's almost like the January insurrection. Nobody watched that, but we all knew that was fake, right? So I guess now either people think everything's fake, or I mean, like how many Twitter file? What is this number 9, 10? Like
Oh,
you
I
know what I
don't
mean?
know.
Like what are we going to be on Twitter file 326 release? You know what I mean? Like and people are like, oh wow, more
Yeah, like
corruption.
how hard did Twitter take to find these files? Do they have them lined up right now, or are they still digging in the Twitter files to find more
Oh,
files? You know?
well, think about it. Twitter's a big world, right? So there's a lot of information they probably do have to go through. So I could believe both possible, right? I believe they could be searching and searching and searching and finding new things. But I also believe since it's all organized around certain topics, that they probably found the bulk of it already, and they're just dripping it out so that it doesn't lose sensation after 1 week release.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what they do. People are so short-minded, short span, attention span. You know what I mean? They're just so you know what I mean? Like, oh
Look,
wow, last week's news is just last week. So
yeah, bring a new one out every week to keep it fresh.
right, it's just why even why Hunter's laptop is even relevant is because people kept pounding on it. But if you went by the mainstream media standard, that was dismissed like after a week and done. You know what I mean? They never would have talked about it again. And that's what they try to do with a lot of information.
I think the laptop was also censorshipped.
Hmm. That I think came out in Twitter release number 1 or 2.
Maybe zero, the very first one.
Right. Well, you know, when are the people going to get mad? That's my point. When are people really like? I don't know how many people actually write their congressmen or senators or anything like that. I don't know how many people do it.
Well, they'll get mad and storm the Capitol, and then they'll have a whole case against them. So,
Well, but even at that, like, still, you can still write. There's so many things you can do. You know what I mean? Like right now, you could protest out in your own thing. You can start a movement in your own. You can start. I mean, there's so many ways you can do it. Even like we do it.
yeah,
We're just bringing it to life.
you read a letter to a politician. They don't give a shit about you. They got a job. Right
Well,
where the
no, they
right
don't.
right where the last email you sent me went. Fucking trash bin.
Spam, right? Well, they don't really care in per se. Because let me tell you, I wrote my congressman about that debacle up at the McCarthy nonsense. I wrote him specifically about that, and then the response I got back was the same thing he sent out in his newsletter.
Oh,
He didn't respond to me.
no, he didn't.
They just copied and pasted the newsletter and sent it to me.
Yeah, it's peon responding to you.
Yeah, they just put it into a little pile and say, "Oh, these people are concerned about this." Send them the newsletter. Oh, these are send them paragraph 4. I mean, like it's you
Yep.
know not like I expect them to sit down and respond in person to everything, but it's a joke, dude. It's a joke. But if enough people do it, then they'll get tired of hearing it and they'll have to do something.
I don't even think they hear it. People do their emails for them,
No,
unless,
right. But
unless it's in-house stuff, you know.
but you know darn well, even at your job, if something is impacting your job, like just take a call center for example. The more people that call, the more you jam up the call center, the more it impacts what's going on at the call center. You know what I mean? So the more people do it, like imagine if we sent letters still, actual written letters. You'd have to tie up the post office. You'd be tying up the people who have to receive the mail. The mailman be pissed because his bag is heavier. Like, you know what I mean? So you're going to have an effect, but we need numbers. We need a lot of numbers.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
anyways, do something. Anyway, don't just leave it all on Elon Musk and then ignore it when it happens. So, all right, we'll move on to the next one because people should be outraged. And right here, people are outraged, but for the wrong reason. Public outrage ensues among hysterical libs after Christian business donates pizza party to police department.
They're mad over pizza. They are legit mad over pizza.
But I mean, strip this down. Like I know it's a good laugh, right? We can get a good laugh out of this, but strip this down for what it is. A business donated pizza to a department that provides a service to everybody.
That probably provides a service to their business, protects their business.
But they probably provide a service to every business, everybody there,
Oh,
right?
sure. Yeah.
So it's like if you change police department to garbage department or sanitation department, would these people be mad?
No.
Okay, so what is the big deal of what they're donating to? Because they don't like
Police.
the police?
Yes. You're answering your own questions. You don't
Well,
even
I
ask them.
know. I'm just saying how stupid it is, right?
Now, it depends who's running that sanitation department.
Well, there are factors, right? Yeah.
Is that Mamo? Are they making people disappear?
Yeah, it'd be a shame if you used that other department, right? So yeah, I mean it's silly nonsense. Silly, and we don't have to spend a lot of time on this because it's silly nonsense. But I want to get to another one that's directly related to the military.
So I want to know what the public outrage was. I didn't see any public outrage. Must have been just a local public outrage.
Well, and you know what's so funny about that,
Oh,
Nate?
so the public was outraged at the libs.
Let me tell you what's so funny about that. And this is where I think once people start seeing this stuff, they're going to realize it. And this next I was actually going to talk about this in the next headline, because the next headline, I actually read this article because I was
Let's
so
go on.
curious.
Let's go to the headline. Let's see.
GOP action on mail ballot timelines angers military families. Tell me what you think that means. Tell me your story, what that means.
I have no clue because I know you can do absentee voting as military, but are they not giving enough time to mail it in? And
that's the theory. The principle is they're shortening the window, right? But what does this headline tell you? Like, give me a picture of what it tells you.
That the GOP is shortening the timeline and it's making military families angry.
Right. So you can imagine a whole bunch of military families holding pickets and yelling, "Oh, this is not fair." But we already know, right? Because statistics dictate this. Most military vote GOP, right?
Sure.
Most military people support the Republican Party because they're pro-gun, all that stuff that most people in the military do, right? So we already know that kind of doesn't make sense. So when you read the article, the person they're getting the information from is like an advocate who's a liberal Democrat.
Imagine that.
And she is saying that it is the people talking to me are angry. There's no reference to how many families. There's no reference to any of that. It's just her words saying that military families are angry. You know, like when people use those terms like, well, most of America believes this. Like, how the hell do you know what most of America believes? Most people don't participate in your polls.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Most of America doesn't even vote.
Right. So now if she were to say most of the people I encountered were mad about it, but that statement probably could still be disproven too, because then you say, well, how many people did you encounter? Well, how many people were mad? You know, right, exactly. So now you see what these media do. I mean, this is what they do. You clearly get this is a left-leaning garbage headline.
No, but you can find the same thing on the right side, twisting headlines too. Yeah.
I'm not denying that. I'm just saying so this you can clearly see is left-leaning garbage. Because I was concerned. I was like, oh my God, military families are mad? I'm like, wow. And then I'm looking at the GOP took action on mail-in ballots. Did they screw the military out of voting? And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Even if you were mad, dude, it's not like you can't request a vote earlier. Get your vote. I mean, it's not like they don't give you enough time. And if that was the case, the GOP be stupid because most of their voters in the military
come from. Yeah.
Right. I mean, like, why would they do that? So this is just garbage to me. But I saw it and I said, this is exactly how the media thing does it. This is how they, you know what I mean? So I just thought that would be a great illustration of what the media does and how they
to be honest, I think most of our headlines are garbage, but we like talking about them anyway.
Hey, maybe even most of our opinions are garbage too, right?
No, they're all facts. Those are all facts. They're not opinions.
Oh, they're all facts. Oh, my bad. So I forgot about that.
It's what I say, so it's a fact. It's my fact.
Exactly.
Might not be your fact, but it's my fact.
Yes. And your fact is what matters, not mine. Yours.
Yes.
Because it's all about you. As a matter of fact, we save you time for reading articles because we don't read them and we're going to make up the same stories anyway. So that'll be all the time we have now because we maybe want to go read an article on something we saw already today. I don't know, maybe not, or maybe we just want to get out of here and do, whatever we want to do. But in the meantime, Godspeed.
And pull the pin ready. Boom.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.